what she wanna do. Lower to the grave, tell you like it is to your face, she don't play. Every chick down for it all, know that she a boss. No competition, no loss. From the Midwest to the A, Autumn got you tuning in, no delay. Ooh, get you right every time. Keep you laughing on a dime. Tell you truth, no lies, so you can live your best life. Cover all topics, no limits. Got something for your mama and your children, no holding back. No gimmicks, coming on strong, get straight to business. Oh yeah.
What she wanna do?
Live life, live life,
She
live
do what
life.
she wanna do.
Live life, live life, live life.
What she wanna do.
Live life, live life,
She
live
do what
life.
she wanna do.
Live life, live life, live life. Live life, live life.
Okay, so boom. It's season 6 of the Lit Life podcast, and I am your host, Autumn the Aries. And I welcome you here where I encourage you to live your life autonomously. So last season, I didn't have any guests. I did that on purpose. Kind of wanted to challenge myself, do whatever I do. And this season, I decided I wanted to bring my guests back because I miss y'all. So it's a couple of people I hadn't had on the show. This particular, he almost like a celebrity, y'all. I ain't gonna.
Oh, here we go.
I ain't gonna hold y'all. He almost like a indie podcast celebrity. Like if you don't know him, like if you don't know this nigga, you really ain't in the know. That's just how I feel.
Okay, so boom.
Okay, so boom. So I just want to introduce to y'all Baylor the Great. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
I wish I knew which one of these things was my claps. I never.
I felt like I needed like some smoke to come out with that.
Let me see. There you go. I just gotta remember it's the yellow one.
I could do it.
So how you been? What's been going on?
I've been maintaining, you know what I'm saying? Chilling, relaxing. I know y'all just celebrated an anniversary that I was a part of, and I was actually happy that I was the last one.
Yes.
I think I was the last one.
You were.
Okay.
You outroed us really well.
Mm-hmm.
Had us all teary-eyed. He's talking about Podcast Happy Hour. If you're watching this show, I'm pretty sure you know what Podcast Happy Hour is. If you don't know what Podcast Happy Hour is, shame on you. And it's also in the show notes, just in case you know what I'm saying, you need to figure it out. But yes, we celebrated a year, and I still kind of can't believe it. It's just like, we really was just like fucking around. And I was like, all right, let's do it.
It was moving kind of fast, wasn't it?
Yeah. It really escalated quickly.
Mm-hmm.
People started getting serious. They was counting out their months because, we do like every person hosts 1 month or whatever. And we pretty much have kept the same rotation until now because I skipped because I wanted to be the one to do the anniversary show.
Right.
So, people have been like literally planning their shows, as best as they can in advance. If it's some sort of like, if it's a birthday or if it's a holiday or if it's whatever, you know what I'm saying? We try to kick it up a notch, and we really just get on there and just be ourselves and have a good time. Like no pressure. Whoever tune in. Who don't. You know what I'm saying? It's just, but the support has been real. Like the support that we've been getting, especially from somebody like you, like it's been heartwarming. So we appreciate y'all.
I think people like to see when a group of people working together, you know what I mean? And knowing that all y'all were strangers to each other at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And then y'all built it's like almost like the Avengers in a way, you know what I mean? And then y'all stick with it. I think that's dope. Like for real. Like it's a lot of people that don't do this. It's a lot of podcasters that know each other or that knew each other and started a podcast with a personal relationship. You know what I mean? Outside of podcasting, that didn't last. You know what I mean? So for y'all to come together, and I think y'all finally got to meet each other this year, or at least
a couple of us did. Yeah, a couple of us did. Audrey, she's here in Georgia, so I've actually hung out with Audrey probably 3 times now. And then Jay came over from Texas. So we still haven't met Chris and Tamara, but
And
it's gonna
shame
happen.
on me too, because I've been to Vegas. I go to Vegas all the time. But I mean, going to Vegas is not. I mean, we going to relax and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
we still be on somebody time. So
Yeah.
I got the opportunity to meet Chris a lot, but it just hasn't happened yet. He's from the seven as well, but the fact that y'all made the effort to meet each other is just it's like a Netflix Hallmark movie all wrapped into one.
We've been sitting and trying to plan for all of us to get together, and we have so many ridiculous ideas, like so many different things that we want to do during this what probably be like 3 or 4 days
Mm-hmm.
long little retreat or whatever we want to have. It's just gonna be so much fun, and y'all will get a lot of content out
I had a dream about y'all that night, right?
of that.
And
Okay.
I'm like, I could see y'all like kind of like what you just said, which is kind of crazy. But it's like see y'all traveling together to like just different places. And then
Mm-hmm.
fast forward by the grace of God that y'all sit there and be laughing about this trip and that trip and this episode or this time we met up at like 60 or 70 years old.
Right, right. Wouldn't that be dope?
That'd be dope.
And I try to tell people all the time. I have something stuck in my throat. I try to tell people all the time, like podcast happy hour is, we started out. We're friends, right? We formed this incredible bond during these incredible times, and we've kind of just held on to that. And so the podcast aspect of it, it's we're more of a collective, right? We're more of a collective because it's not like when I brought them the idea, yes, we sat and we talked it out and figured out how it would go. But it's not everybody has a very equal part of this show, and the part of the show that they have is their own.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty unique, right? It's like everybody is bringing something from the format of their show. So I call it more of a collective than, like co-hosts or what I mean? Like I just feel like, we get together once a month. Chris gonna bring you her shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? Like we're all gonna just bring something different and you're gonna get a laugh. You might cry. I don't know. I mean, it's just a good time. So again, we appreciate y'all. I ain't even talking about podcast happy hour that
Well, we appreciate y'all.
long. But anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and get right into the show. The very first thing that I wonder have people missed this. Let me just play the music. So everybody tell me that this is their favorite part of the show, the Shut the Fuck Up Awards. And the Shut the Fuck Up Award is basically just exactly what it says. If there is a person, if there is a group, a collective, a government, whatever, singing group, I don't care, whatever, that you just need to speak these words to, now is your opportunity. Do you have anybody?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, let's hear it.
And I hate to do this because I'm on her side, but Shakari Richardson got to chill out for a bit.
How you feel about it? Let's talk about it. So
I'm on
Shakari Richardson,
I'm on her side, and I love a good slice of arrogance.
same.
And I keep me a pile of ego with me. You know what I mean?
You
But
must.
you gotta humble yourself in certain situations. You know what I mean? Not 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 that you have to say, look, because I lost this race and I came in last, that I have to be humble. No, just say, you know what? It is what it is. I'm an athlete. You know what I mean? In the future, I might be the best, but right now I'm working at that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't like to judge people or critique people on their post game interviews and stuff like that because their emotions is high,
Mm-hmm.
whether they won or lost. You know what I mean? So whatever you ask them is going to trigger their emotion and it's already high.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, like, cause I was the one on her side when I said, bro, it's marijuana. You know, if anything, whoever she was running against should be feeling bad because if I smoke something or eat something, I'm not running that goddamn fast.
I'm not even working out at all. Like I be wondering, like, how are y'all be doing a whole workout after you even got high? And they say it's like the best workout ever. And I just don't know how they do it.
Hey, look, I don't understand it either. To me, it's a creative enhancer, but a performance enhancer, I'm not. I can't really speak on that. So I was on her side, and I was against the Olympics for that. But when you come out and lose like that, just take that L. You know what I mean? There's no need for you to bark at, because you know they're gonna come, whether you great or not. You're gonna have haters, so we already know this. There's no need to bring them up.
So did she say something else after the interview, the post-game interview?
No,
you're just talking about okay.
I'm just talking about the post. I'm just talking about the post game because, I mean, I get it. Certain they will ask you certain questions that'll trigger you, but I don't think there was any triggering questions that was asked. She just decided to go off, and I'm like, bro, look, I know you great. I know you can run fast, but this particular race, they whooped your ass. That's it.
They did. And I honestly, I kind of feel the opposite. I mean, like, she came in last, dead ass last, like embarrassing last, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely, I'm sure she was just extremely embarrassed, honestly, because especially she had the Nike endorsement, and when she would like Beats by Dre and all this. I mean, pretty sure she got a check already or whatever. But I agree with the whole being humble thing. I think that I think that she was just being her. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and the part that the part of the backlash that I don't like is a lot of people are talking shit, but had she won that race or had she placed, everybody be.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Everybody, oh yeah, y'all thought this was gonna be this. Y'all knew she was gonna come back, blah 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 blah.
That's my point.
But for her to, I don't want to say fail, but for her to,
she came up short this time.
Very, very, very short. And I just think that she was just talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, like you said, her emotions were high. She was, she knew she fucked up, but she was just talking. She was just being her. You could tell she got that mouth. She was just popping off, and I was just like, you know what, talk your shit. So now, let's get back in the lab. What she do? She withdrew from the 200, which I thought was smart, and she's gonna go and get back in the lab, and hopefully, when the next time come back around, she'll have something to prove. I think that there have been a lot of great people that have probably failed us sports wise. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, a lot of them wasn't talking big crap like she was, but some of them I'm pretty sure did, and came back and probably did what they had to do. So that's just what I'm hoping from her. Like,
I think she's gonna come back.
I was wondering if she was still talking, because then I would have been like,
No, I think she gonna bounce back. I think she gonna be able to bounce back. But she gotta realize that she already got a target on her back.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So honestly, there's no need to waste energy on what you already expect. Like, you already know it's gonna be there, whether you do great or not. And when you fail, they already waiting on you. When you do well, they're gonna be quiet. You know what I mean? So my thing is, I don't feed into it anymore. Right. You know, that's why I'm more like I would be more of a protector than anything, like, because I could see it. I mean, her being her is not necessarily a good thing right now. She's not willing to mature on it, because what if all this backlash and this slander affects her performance by you reacting to it so much? People are going to keep doing it and keep doing it. Eventually, you just gotta go. You just gotta go.
Hopefully, she'll grow out of it.
Yeah, and I don't get me wrong. I like the clap back, but clap. You don't have to clap back all the time. That's what I'm saying.
Time and place. Yeah.
Yeah,
Time and place.
yeah. And then, and don't get me wrong, sometimes it's not even their fault. Like I said, I'm actually against, cats lose the Super Bowl or the NBA finals, and then they got to go sit in front of some people and they're gonna ask them, well, how do you feel?
Right.
What?
Right. Like what?
What do you mean? I don't even want to talk to y'all. Technically, I'm talking to y'all because I'll get in trouble. You know what I mean? I would
I'm
be
just here so I won't get fined.
exactly. I would be in the shower right now, then going to get dressed, going straight home. That's it. I don't
Right.
want to talk to y'all. But no, I like who she is, and I like how she speak up for herself. I'm just saying, when you get to a certain level on the mountain, when cats start yelling, when you up high enough, you ain't gonna be able to hear them.
That's
So
real.
don't try to hear them.
That's real. That's real. Yeah. I get that. All right. So that was a good one. That was a good one. My shut the fuck up. It's like it always comes from Twitter. I think it always comes from Twitter. Like I can't even.
You're gonna find some of the most elite, ignorant shit on Twitter.
I mean, it's so elite, and I just can't leave it alone. Like I just can't like completely step away unless it's temporary. But my shut the fuck up. And what I tend to do is when I read these tweets, I never say who the person is because I just don't even want to give them, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is they want to get. But this guy, and I've seen this before, tweeted, there's a picture of a rapper, Moneybagg Yo, and I guess maybe his prom date.
I just seen that picture today. I just seen it.
So, and this is old, like it seems to come up a couple of times a year, it seems like. But what he said was, if you ever feel down about your life, just remember Moneybagg Yo went from her talking about the young lady in the picture to Megan Thee Stallion and Ari Fletcher.
Yeah, basically disrespecting that whole woman in that picture.
And for what?
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Is there a reason? Is it? I mean, literally. So at this point, it's like for laughs and for clout. I don't want to hear that. Is there any other point? Did that help you mentally? Did you get any money off of that tweet? Are you? I mean, did you?
They got what they got. They got what they got. They got attention. That's it. That's about it. That's about it.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's just like that lady ain't did nothing to nobody. I cannot stand when people go back in time and find some dumb shit for somebody to catch a stray that was just really literally minding their business. Like it just does not make any good sense to me for somebody to want to be that mean. That's just mean. It's just mean.
Yeah. Yeah. And these are the people that, sometimes they really, I think there's a group of people, a lot of people that have this image. They still have this image or this perspective in their head of a athlete's, entertainer's lifestyle. Everything is glamorous, damn near flawless, etc. And then on the other side, we are now in the era where if you can go viral off of anything, people are going to do it. Whether it's sacrificing your goddamn hair, whether it's falling off some goddamn crates. You know what I'm saying? Like people are willing to go viral off of anything.
That's
and
real.
at the bottom pole of that clout is just slandering somebody on social media. Almost it's low key cyberbullying, but we're not going to talk about that.
It is. It exactly. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And it always amazes me because I think back to before we had the internet and before we had social networks and before we had things of that nature. Like if you heard something that somebody said about you, it was more than likely somebody at your school or a neighboring school or whatever.
It was close.
It might have taken a day or two, but it was always going to get back to you. And if you were a real one, there's going to be a problem. It's going to be on site. There's going to be some sort of confrontation.
We slapboxing.
And I feel like that's one reason why so many people do this now because they know that it's not going to happen that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
They know that, you know, they could pick on somebody there in New York and they could pick on somebody in LA. You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to really be no smoke for real. Not for real, for real. We've seen it. We've seen it, but it's not going to be no for real smoke.
I personally don't like talking about celebrities in a negative light because in my head, and it may be because it's what city I stay in, to me, I feel like I have a 50-50 chance of bumping into them.
You probably do. Same with me.
And that's why I might have my opinion, but I'm not about to slander them. Well, right. unless I'm ready for the smoke. If it's
ready for it.
If it's an actor or athlete out there that I just don't like the way they move, and I'm ready on site, then I might say, but for the most part, nah, man.
Because is it even work? I mean, it's just like, it's just ridiculous. I just don't understand, like, y'all just don't understand, like, us when we were growing up, how it was just about to be on site. And that's why I tell people all the time, I'm not going, I think it's still in my Twitter profile. I'm not going back and forth with you niggas. If ain't nobody gonna pull up, if ain't nobody trying to see me where I stand, it ain't no point in me going back and forth using the internet that I purchased to go back and forth with you on some bullshit that doesn't even matter. And all we're doing is entertaining everybody around us while we're acting a fool on the internet.
And we ain't gonna never meet.
Ever. We will never, ever cross paths.
Yeah.
If we do, we probably wouldn't even recognize one another. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that. It's like, it's pointless. So that is my shut the fuck up. So for my guests this season on the Lit Life podcast, I chose you all because I just kind of want to talk about what your dreams are.
Okay.
So I know, and this kind of goes around your brand. I want you to tell us, first of all, a little bit about your brand, because I don't think people may know that, you know, your brand is just way more than your podcast. You know, like it's a full-fledged situation. So could you tell us about your brand?
My brand, Baylor the Great, BTG, Baylorism, Open Run with BTG, it's a time capsule. So surprise everybody. Everything that I've done with other podcasters that's been on my platform is documented. So when I'm gone, my legacy, you know, you'll continue to hear my legacy. And then the people that I've connected with, whether that was through podcasting, whether that was through selling merch, meeting up, you know, live shows, gatherings, talking about my personal life, videos of my family, everything is in my time capsule. So that's my brand. I'm not just a podcaster. I'm not even a fashion designer. I don't even really know how to do this shit to perfection yet.
Right.
But I'm a person that has a passion to create things. So that's what my brand is. I'm a kid from the 80s, and if anybody knows about kids from the 80s, we are the kids that made mansions out of cardboards. You know what I'm saying? We went outside and played with army soldiers and Hot Wheels, and the worms were monsters from the dirt. You know what I mean? We ran around the corner and had water balloon fights with other kids from the other side of the block. And then when those street lights came on, we had to be in the house. You know what I mean? So to me, honestly, I think the 80s was the birth of true creations or true creators. And that's what I am. A lot of people don't like to be labeled as this. I don't get it, but you know, it's whatever. But I am a content creator. And a content
Why don't
creator is a
people like
person.
to be labeled? I never
I don't
heard
know.
that.
I guess they don't want to be penciled in or boxed into just that particular description. I guess I don't know. I've heard a few people that are like, yo, I'm not a content creator. I never understood it. Don't know why. Don't care. I am though. You know what I mean? Because I create different types of content. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and and that's basically my brand. And my brand is fueled from my personal experience, my past, my creative thoughts, my family, my friends, and other podcasters.
Okay, so zoning in on your podcast network.
Mhm.
Tell me a little bit about that. So I'm on your website and I see that there's 6 different podcasts here. So tell me about 2 of them.
Well, if you go to Rare Science Network, that's my home network. Okay, you got the No Nonsense Show. You got Black on Both Sides.
Mm-hmm.
They got some premium shows as well. Of course, they got my 2 shows: Open Run with BTG for
Mm-hmm.
President. I'm not sure if they still doing Music Love Life, but Rare Science Network is based out of Atlanta, and that's the No Nonsense Show. If you guys are a fan of me, you got to listen to the No Nonsense Show.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check
Um,
them out.
yeah, and they are, as I want to say, raw and upfront, funny as can be. One of the main podcasts that I started to listen to like years ago, and that's my home. That's my network right there. Now I'm also a part of the Lunch Break Network, which will be launching Thursday, this Thursday.
Oh,
Yeah, so
so tell
that's
me
that.
about that.
So the Lunch Break Network is a group of content creators that found each other on the Clubhouse app,
Okay,
and
so that's
these are
very recent.
yeah. Well, the actual room had been going for a whole year straight. Um, Actually, a whole year would be in November, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Some were podcasters, and some were just content creators in general outside of podcasting. But we formed together like Voltron, and we created a network based off of the content creators inside that room, and we'll be launching this Thursday a podcast called At Risk Therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people should tune into this because now we're going to have monologues, we're going to have guests, and sometimes it's just going to be the fellas on there. But we dive deep into some serious topics, not just the topics that people may pull from the internet, from the newspaper, or from TV. From time to time, we will, but these are topics that's within inside of our culture that we're gonna speak about. We might speak about marriage. You know what I mean? We might speak about dating. We might speak about alpha males. I'm definitely gonna have a show coming up talking about a scared alpha male. Um,
Do you
so we
think
do.
that alpha male is an actual thing?
No, I honestly don't believe in it, but in that episode, I will break it down. Because I believe that if you ticklish, then you can't be a true alpha male.
That's good. That's a good one.
So and I'm definitely ticklish. So no, the lunch break between the lunch break productions and the Rare Science Network is just a ball of content. I encourage everybody to go to raresciencenetwork.com. And the lunch break, like I said, we actually launch. We posted a promo today, and then we'll be launching the first episode on this Thursday, and tap in. I mean, it's some more creators that's coming into the space, but I think the passion and the workhorse behind these creators is something almost similar to what y'all doing. You know what I mean? How y'all built a brand from and having an individual brand, but coming together and sticking
Mm-hmm.
together. It's very similar to that. You know what I'm saying? They're very business oriented, and the content has always been there. It's just that they did it either separate or it wasn't in a podcast version.
Gotcha. So how many people are in this network so far?
There's a total of 6 of us right now.
Okay, that's good number.
Total of 6 of us right now, and I don't. I brag on you guys. I brag on the,
You're not
I
about to have me over here blushing now. Come on now.
But I do though. It is real when it comes to you guys. Stretch mark and sweatpants, views from the 7. Of course, the no nonsense show. There's a few other podcasters out there as well. But you guys had already been established too, and separately. Yeah, so it's like y'all damn near like the Lakers. Y'all got everybody. You know what I mean? Now y'all just on one team. But these are people that I met in a short span of time, and they put things together so fast. They could be trouble for the community.
Wow. That's what's up.
Yeah, they could be trouble.
That's what's up. I'm looking forward to that.
I wouldn't work with people. I wouldn't work with people that wouldn't work with the people that I appreciate. You know what I mean? So that's an open invitation to the community, because I'm not saying that they're new to the community, but they're new to my community. Right, you know what I mean? Right. Mm-hmm. So that's why I want y'all to tap in, because it's almost like bringing them into the podcast house party, and like, look, meet these cool cats that I met.
Right, you know what I mean?
No, they gonna fuck some shit up though, and I'm gonna help them.
Oh, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, they are real. They real dope. And I've been recording as a podcaster for 5 years, been listening to podcasts for about 7 or 8 years. Mm-hmm. And I've never seen a collective group that came together so fast, so serious.
Wow.
And I don't like gambling unless I'm in Vegas. But I'm willing to put my money. I'm willing to put my money on these cats because, and again, they're all human. So any given Sunday, somebody could flip out. You know what I'm saying? And something can go wrong. But I'm not gonna put that type of energy in the air. These cats, these cats are good. They're good.
That's what's up. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to that launch this week. What do you think? This is kind of a random question. Do you ever still listen to the radio?
Sports radio.
That's it. You don't listen to any type of like music stations, like maybe if you're in a car.
If I'm with, like, depending on who I'm with, like sometimes when I take my mother-in-law to work, besides if I don't want to drown her out with sports radio, which I do most of the time, I'll listen to the 94.7 The Wave, and you know what I'm saying. And that's basically a radio station out here that plays like vintage R&B soul music. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So if anything, it'll go back and forth between the two. But if I'm in the car by myself, 10 times out of 10 is sports radio or a podcast or music.
So what do you think about radio though? Like I was thinking this, I get high and get in the car and then just having these thoughts. Like I'm listening to the radio and I'm like, I can't believe I can kind of believe the radio is still around, but I kind of can't. Right? It's just like
I don't know how they're staying.
Like people still call into,
and that's probably why.
Not only to like win stuff though. Like people call in and they speak on topics and they the one that really blows me away is when they call in and ask to play a certain song. Mm-hmm. That just blows me away.
Well, see, this is the thing. The radio has changed music-wise because exclusive music is broke on the internet. So they're going to lose against that one. But the way they can keep it going is kind of like the Breakfast Club, which technically we don't even have out here. I got to listen to the Breakfast Club on off the internet. Yeah, off an app or something like that. So what I think the Breakfast Club is shown and our radio stations out here is shown is that whatever social media topic as pertaining music is popping, then they'll have people call in and talk about it. So they had to switch the format from just breaking records to breaking news, and then having people chime in on it, because that's the only way they're gonna stay alive. You can't break a record unless it's impossible for you to create a record, keep it exclusive, and get it to the radio station. By the time you get it to the radio station, somebody in your camp already leaked it
yesterday.
Yeah, so it's like it's no purpose. Like the radio station is not what it's not how it used to be anymore. You know what I mean? Like we used to really be into the actual characters that was working for the station. You know what I mean?
Yes. And they still, and to an extent, like they still are. There's like some big names here, and there was like a little bit of it's been like a little bit of drama going on with the news, the radio personalities, and it's been kind of wild, but it just always blows me away because when I get in the car, I'll typically just listen to the radio or whatever, but it's like it blows me away when they say, oh, so and so called in and wanted to hear this song, and I'm like, you didn't have nowhere else you could have.
You could have got that. You could have got that off of 50 different apps.
Like you could have listened to it on repeat 10 times by the time they played it, right?
And on top of this, like back in the day, like you said, we didn't have the internet. So again, I'm an 80s baby. So I came from in the 90s. We used to press record and play at the same time to get our favorite song off the radio, because back then they used to they used to promote the singles on the radio to make you go out there and buy a record. You know what I mean? So now it's like everything is through streaming. I don't have to go get a physical copy anymore. You know what I mean? And then the singles is going to be put out there on Twitter, on IG. You know what I mean? Or on iTunes. They're going to put the single out there maybe a month or two before the album come out.
You ever took one of your parents' tapes and that they went and bought and put that little piece of paper in the corner?
Hey, look, let me tell you.
And recorded over top of it?
Hey, let me tell you. I did a lot. You know? I'm not gonna call myself an official DJ, but man, I used to have because I graduated from the tapes to the CDs. And
yes.
Let me tell you the tape era, that was different, man. Because if you knew how to stop and record at the perfect time,
would you talk to them?
Hey man, you never wanted to hear the radio host talking during the track.
Commercials, you didn't want none of that stuff.
Let me give you this story real quick. The Bone Thugs and Pac track. I forgot the name of it. I can't. You remember the name?
I got to look it up.
Whatever the name was, I remember when the song first came out, it had the gunshots, but then after a while they took it out. So you had to be there. Thug Love. There you go. So you had to be there. World premiere when that song came out, because when that song came out, it came out with the gunshots. After a while, they took the gunshots out. Throwback. Hey, y'all, cats ain't ready for that, man. They're not ready for that.
Man. The tape, and then getting your heart broken when the tape snapped.
Hey, because it's over.
Have you ever tried to tape it back together though? Like you ain't a real one if you ain't never tried to tape it.
I tried to tape it back together when it got tangled. When it gets
tangled.
My God. Oh my God. I think I just posted something like that in my IG feed. Like, yo, that pencil or that pen was my best friend.
But then like, okay, if you managed to twirl it all the way and get it tight again, when you played it, you had a slight bit of anxiety because it was crinkled up when you tightened it up. Yeah. So you had a slight bit of anxiety because you didn't know if it was going to catch again.
And if it catch again, it might be over.
It probably is.
It might be over. But nothing was more fun than actually naming the tape or writing the songs on the tape Y'all don't know about that
Then
with
you
that
did you, but
permanent.
then you had to take that Q-tip and put some alcohol on it and clean the inside of the tape player
Yeah,
so
you
that
had
it
to.
wouldn't catch anymore. At least that's what we thought. I'm not sure
We don't
how
know. Hey, that's the same. That's the same as we used to blow the cartridge
blowing
of
into
duck.
the right.
Yeah, yeah. It work. It don't work. Shit work for me. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They not ready for that, man. That's why I say, man, we was
No.
creators. We was content
Yeah.
creators back then. You know what I mean? Like then we developed. I mean, we enhance our. We actually upgraded to CDs, and bro, let me tell you, if that CD got scratched, it's over. It's
Mm-mm.
over.
Mm-mm. Or even broken, like
Yeah,
accidentally stepping on it or something. Oh my God.
yeah, yeah.
So, okay, I think I have two more questions. You just sparked another question for me. Say, for instance, because TikTok is a big thing now, right?
Mhm.
I still don't have a TikTok, but I don't know if
You,
I'm ever
you
gonna get
you
one.
need a TikTok. You need a TikTok.
I just don't know. I just don't know. I see
Autumn,
enough of them.
just post your shows. It ain't nothing
I'm
but
gonna think
another
about it.
vessel to share with other people. That's all it is.
I'm gonna think about it. I'm
And
gonna
they
think
got
about
great content on there. I'm not gonna lie, they do.
it.
It's a
It
lot of
is pretty funny. Like a lot of the things that I've seen have been pretty funny. But
Mhm,
here's my question. So, as an '80s baby,
mhm,
say for instance you had TikTok,
mhm.
what do you think you would have put on there?
In the 80s.
Like
Oh,
if there's like a memory or something like that of yours, like what do you think you would have posted on TikTok?
I'm glad you asked. All the OG shit. We'd have been racing, water balloon fights, playing Nintendo, well, not Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo, Atari back
Atari.
then. Um,
Could you
well,
imagine that commentary? Like,
oh, the commentary's trash.
like
Commentary trash.
what do you say while you're playing Pac-Man?
But all right, now let me ask another question. If we have TikTok, are you saying TikTok with these features of today, or would it be some of the features that we would assume they would have back in the 80s?
Oh, that's a good question. Because
That's because this
initially I was thinking with the features that we had today, but I mean, because what features would we have back then? Like, it would be
it would look
what
like
would
a
we have?
it would look like a it would look like a camcorder. So
It
the
would,
actual
it
so
would,
that
it
yeah,
would.
it might. And then remember the camcorders low key was the first device that had filters. It had the
Yeah,
different filters for you to record. You
yeah,
know what I
you're
mean?
right.
Um, yeah, it would be pretty cheesy because like the features that they have today is way far advanced than what they have now. It's just if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, just go look at a movie from the 80s with a lot of action in it,
Mm-hmm,
or a scary
mm-hmm.
movie, and then go look at some shit
Right.
today.
It'd be like, wow. If
Yeah.
you really even just looking back to movies like Friday, that
Mhm.
wasn't even that long ago. You know what I'm saying? It's just so different. I think that I would have posted me and my homegirls because we used to always have a step. That's what we called it. We called it a step. Like when the song came out, we make a dance routine to it.
Mhm.
I
I
would have
think
been I would have
I
been one
think
of
that
those
would have been the most
TikTokers.
popular. I think that would have been the most popular thing with the scrunchy socks. Yeah, y'all
Yeah,
for sure would
yeah.
have been killing it.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been. It would have been over for these hoes. Y'all just
Damn,
don't even understand how we would have come and really like to poison.
with some LA gears.
We had a step to uh MC Breed ain't no future in your friend. These niggas couldn't see us, blinded. So that's how that would have went. But that was a good, fun question. So coming back full circle to your dreams, like, okay, so I know I did want to touch real quick though on like during the pandemic. You said it a little bit earlier about being a fashion designer. So you started creating clothing. I want you to just tell us a little bit about that, and then after that, I kind of just want to talk. I just want to know about your dreams, like when it comes to this whole content creator, like being a content creator. What is it that you envisioned getting from this?
Um, well, I mean, again, I don't know if I have said it enough, but when I had started making these shirts and hoodies and stuff like that, I had no intention on selling them at all. I had just got bored during the pandemic,
During
like
the
everybody,
pandemic, right?
because also during the like I bought the cricket. I didn't buy that shit for me. I bought it for my wife. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
You went to
And
go hard stuff.
I had stocked up on video games, so I was good. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then I don't know. I think I got tired of playing the game a little bit, and she had showed me some things on the cricket. I was like, shit, let me get into making something or something like that. And then it just took off, and I want to appreciate because y'all was one of the first to like actually, and shout out to Jay.
Shout out to Jaywood.
I made y'all some shirts, which by the way, I will be sending y'all the upgraded version
Oh,
free of
okay,
charge, because I wanted to explain to everybody like, yo, I'm not a company just yet. You know
right.
what I mean? And I
I
know
get it.
people spent money on my brand, but I'm not this my brand is not 100%. You know what I mean? So
It's 200.
I took it more as they're just supporting my creativity more than support or more than just buying a shirt. You know what I mean? Like if I buy a
Mhm.
shirt from Old Navy or from Target, I expect top quality. But if I buy something from a podcaster, I'm like, I'm actually just supporting you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I get it. I get what
Uh,
you're saying.
but when I get to the point where I do post something online, it's going to be authentic. You know what I mean? Not to say what I made for y'all wasn't, but I was in the beginning stages. I was learning as I was creating. And you learn stuff, you fall into a rabbit hole of how to make these things and how
Mhm.
to perfect these things. So that's where I'm at. I'm still creating. Um, but I mean, it's dope. Knowing that there's people in different states and cities walking around with your brand on. That's it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And I more so than that, I appreciate people saying like, you know what, like the idea that you came up with was dope. Here's some money for it. At
Mhm.
the end of the day,
Just
So
being
that
supportive.
yeah, and I appreciate that. I think about that. I don't, and I know people may not think this way or think that I do this, but I actually think about y'all all the time about how y'all supported me. I'll never forget
Oh.
that. You know what I mean? So if it hits and it take off, and the department store says we like your idea, we like how you did this, and we actually go in business together, I promise I will never forget the people who spent $50 here, $30 there, $100 there. You know what I mean? Because I eventually y'all will get that back without even being charged.
I am all about supporting black businesses and black creatives, and I have a shelf full of books that I bought from friends and just random people that I have not gotten a chance to read. I don't know if I'm ever going to get a chance to read them, but I bought them just simply being supportive.
It's the
Like,
support, yeah.
and I like supporting in house. So Jay surprised us with these shirts.
Yeah,
So I'm
she hit me on the back end. We had planned that like months prior to y'all even getting them.
Yeah, she surprised us, and it was such a great surprise. And I was so glad that she, went inside of our network and found somebody to support to do that, because that's just the type of stuff that I be on. If somebody has something and I know that both of us are going to benefit from it. That's why I like, people, when I have shirts and stuff, when other people send me shirts or whatever, I get on here and wear it. You know what I'm saying? I get on Podcast Happy Hour and wear it just so that you'll see it. You know me, I'm the retweet queen. I'm going to retweet your shit. I ain't listening to none of it. I'm gonna retweet it. I'm gonna tell people to listen to it. And when I get my chance to listen to it, I'm gonna listen to it too. I'm gonna live tweet it. I'm gonna do all that stuff. I'm all about. I feel like we all have a chance to eat here, and whatever it is that you want to take from podcasting or just overall being a content creator, if you're blogging, if you're a vlog, any of the stuff that you're doing, there's a place for you there. I just feel like there's a place. A lot of people don't do this for money or to get rich or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Some people do it just because it's just in their wheelhouse to do, right? And a lot of people picked up a lot of different things during the pandemic and found a lot of passion in a lot of the things that they picked up. And that's what I picked up from you with the Baylorism line. It's like, he like doing this, like, and people are wearing your shit, and that's what matters, right?
Yeah. They are. It's almost scary. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, yo, it don't get me wrong, it takes a lot of work, and I still haven't perfected it. You know what I'm saying? I've even had to like redo some things and things like that because I'm still learning about the process. And now the more and more research I do, the more and more I learn how to do it better. So I appreciate the people that's riding along with me and that continues to support me.
So for the like I said, for the final question, I kind of just want to know what, when you started to do all of these things, like, was it a part of a dream? Like, was it a part of an overall dream or overall accomplishment, or is it something that just kind of happened? Like everything just kind of happened the way that it did.
I would probably say it's more so it just happened than my dream, because my actual dream is to have a basketball gym and a football field. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So I could sit up there and just watch kids play out their dream. That's
Yeah.
my dream. But like I said, I'm a natural creator. So anytime I get in my creative stages, is I'm inside of some part of my dream to where I get to create something. I like to create stuff. So the pandemic helped a lot as as far as my creations, because it forced me to pick up something new. And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not a part of my dream, because I want to say part of my dream is being a creator, but it's also I want to be an owner.
Mm-hmm.
I think Baylorism comes into that as far as being an owner.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I still have other things that I have to accomplish, but if it's making some clothes or creating some episodes, I'll start there.
Baylor, this has been amazing. I knew that it would be. I'm so glad I finally got you on the show. I know we've been doing a little back and forth over the last year or so.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so glad.
Remember our show that we did on my podcast,
and it was so amazing. I was just about to mention it. It was so amazing. I'm gonna find the link and put it in the show notes because it was an amazing show.
You talking about the coffee shop, right?
Yeah, in my dream.
Yeah, I haven't forgot.
And it evolves. It's evolving monthly. Like there's just so many things I want out of this coffee shop, and I'm gonna get it. But it's gonna happen
with the cats.
With the cats, it has to happen. It has to happen. So before we get out of here, why don't you tell everyone that is listening how to find you or where to find you?
On Twitter is where I'm at mostly. That's at Baylorism on Twitter, at Baylor the Great on everything else. I'm gonna try to get back on Facebook a little bit more, and I have been. Minimum. I'm on there a little bit, but mostly on Twitter and IG. You can find me on Clubhouse too, randomly, and also follow the Lunch Break Money on Twitter. Again, they'll be launching Thursday. And that's it. But I also gotta show love to Drake, Mr. D713, and Leah.
Mm-hmm.
Take up Space Podcast, Everything Culture. We do Black horror humor. So we are a small portion of Black people that actually watch scary
Horror
movies.
movies.
Yeah, and we enjoy it and we joke about it in a Black horror humor way.
Mm-hmm.
The Breaks Radio, like I said, the Lunch Break Productions, Rare Science Network. That's all Baylor right there.
That's what's up. I want to thank you again for being here, and I want to thank the listeners and whoever may be watching this on YouTube for tuning in to the Lit Life podcast. Like we just said, the anniversary show for Podcast Happy Hour was on 8/20. I haven't put the audio on Anchor yet, but I'll do that soon. But it's on YouTube, which is where you probably should go and watch it. We had a lot of fun guests. And I believe Jay is hosting the next one on Jay's Quick 3 pod. And we haven't set a date for that yet, but I'll get that out to you guys. So, I have a new website too. It was Autumn the Aries. And if you go to autumnthearies.com, it'll take you here, but it's now Lit Life Podcast. Trying to do a little, fluff up the brand a little bit. We'll see.
LifePodcast.com.
That's it. So, all right. Until y'all see or hear us again. Peace.
Peace.